My God, I hate drugs.
Ito na ang pinaka-veteranong lawmaker.
No doubt about it.
Hoping for a Senate comeback is former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. He's of course 94 years old and he says he can still meet the demands of the Senate job, this amid concerns on his health. Enrile was previously charged with plunder due to his alleged involvement in the pork barrel scam. He was released in 2015 for humanitarian reasons. So there's so many things to talk about, but let's narrow it down. What should we talk about when we say JPE?
Well, experience, and there's a veritable source of discussion, no, as far as the background of the senator is concerned. I mean, if you talk about ups and downs, that's literally ups and downs as far as the senator is concerned. So
Pagdaanan
again,
niya halos lahat.
yeah, hindi mo masasabi yung comeback capacity niya, no? I mean, if you talk to the guy, he's really not just a veteran. He really knows what he talks about when he opens his mouth.
Do you think he still has something to offer, Professor Casiple? Or do
Well,
we give chance to the newbies?
he himself admits that there's nothing more. He just wants to serve the people, he said. And you have to take his word for that. I don't think there's any surprise left with Enrile.
Is this a way to maybe lighten the cases against him? Is that part of it or no?
Well, to be honest with you, I spoke to him just a few months ago, no? And he spoke to us mainly because I was part of the consultative committee that drafted the Federal Philippine Constitution, and he came up with this own commentary on the draft constitution. So apparently, at least as far as what he says, he wants to be in the Senate because he's anticipating that a draft constitution will be discussed in the Senate, and he wants to take part in it.
Nabanggit nga niya yun, yung parang
Yeah.
meron siyang gustong linawin at gusto niyang ibigay yung kanyang mga thoughts about
Well,
federalism.
his mind is still clear.
Ay, grabe.
Definitely, it's not
Definitely.
Definitely.
You know, that's what we noticed. That's why parang for the voters, they shouldn't discount him if just for the age.
Yeah.
Oo, kasi ano pa rin, sharp pa rin.
Exactly. And but I would like to know again, what does he plan to do if he does win? What does he plan to do in the next 6 years? He has, if you talk about institutional knowledge, he has that,
Yes.
more than enough of that. So with the moves to amend and revise the Constitution, I think his insights will help. But it's up to the voters, and a lot, like Professor Tayo said, there's a lot of millennial voters now who might not have voted for him before. So how do you reach out to them now?
That's right.
That's a big question there.
What about his case? Meron pa bang ano yun? Does that have a weight on the consideration of the voters?
Alam mo kasi wala yatang, meron na bang nakulong talaga na nagkaroon ng kaso? I mean, ever since. Yung problema eh.
There was at least an official who was jailed, and while in jail won and served the whole term while in jail. So I don't think it really matters for some voters, no.
Okay. But you know, medyo tight kasi 12
Yeah.
ang seats, but there are incumbents. There are a lot of incumbents running, di ba? And may ano yan eh, di ba? May partido.
May comebacking,
partida.
yeah, may comebacking senators rin eh, di ba?
May comebacking
They have the
senators,
track
yeah.
record,
Yes,
actually.
they have the track
They won.
They won eh, they won.
It's a big factor.
Pero may mga dating comebacking senators na hindi na nakakambak, ha? So,
Of course.
Yes,
actually,
that's a good point.
pag tinignan mo ang mga botante, nagbabago ang voting behavior. So we cannot discount yung mga newcomers, like for example this next candidate that we're to talk about. The more important thing really is how much the public will get to know about a particular candidate, and if this particular candidate gets to the interest of the public, then most likely baka makapasok yan.
Sabi nga nila mahirap mamili for this particular midterm elections kasi nga 12 lang and marami kang
Masikip.
masikip.
Sobrang masikip.
No,
Hindi,
maraming
tsaka
matunog
masyadong
na
divided
pangalan.
ang politika na natin ngayon, ano? I mean, you can very well say na, I mean, if you look at this president, dapat yung tinatawag na honeymoon period has long been gone already, no? Pero pag sinabi mong tapos na yung honeymoon period, more than half of the public pulse is no longer with the president. This president remains particularly popular, no? And apart from that, yung galit, talagang galit din naman. So, you wouldn't really say exactly how it's going to play out.
And you were saying kanina, itong susunod na candidate na pag-uusapan natin, you cannot discount him even if he's a first try niya sa Senate, no? Chel Diokno. Your thoughts, Professor Mon Casilla?
Well, Chel Diokno, of course, also depends on the name. Because he is not a politician. The father is. So, malaking usapin dito. Yung Diokno ba na pangalan? Still rings a bell. Ano?
Marami sa mga butante natin, mga
Millennials.
diba?
Actually, may problem siya. I think uphill battle talaga yan. He has to get
Kailangan
to
niya
know again
magpakilala.
his voters.
Well, we don't really have anything to work on kasi he's not been in public office since. This is his first try and venture into public office, so there's no track record to speak of. What you can see is his track record as a counsel and his advocacies for human rights. No,
Correct.
I think you go from there, but you have to ask him what are his, again, policies that he will undertake if and when he wins as senator that will affect us on a daily basis. That's what's important. Food on the table, what are his plans for the Philippines in the future? Those are the things, those are the hard questions that should be asked of him.
Oo, kasi ngayon yung kanyang human rights, because he's a human rights lawyer,
Exactly.
he's known for that. And yun ang issue ngayon kay Pangulong Duterte, no? But it can't just be the
It can't
issue,
be
as
just
you're
that.
saying. Let me just read a little bit of Chel Diokno, no? He's still part of the Manlaban sa EJK. It's a coalition of legal experts, no, that campaigns against supposedly extrajudicial killings. He was among the legal counsels of retired Davao policeman SPO3 Arturo Las Cañas, who alleged that President Duterte formed and controlled the Davao Death Squad. And of course, his father fiercely fought the Marcos dictatorship. Your thoughts, Professor Ed?
Yeah, I basically agree with all that they said. No, I mean, if you look at the registry of voters now, if I'm not mistaken, it's almost 50% of registered voters are millennials. Now, having said that, it could go either way again because if you look at how millennials vote, no, they look more on the track record. So if the track record would interest the millennial voter, he certainly could get the support he needs.
Ang huli niyang standing sa SWS survey was number 23 to 24. So
bit
let's
far.
see. Medyo malayo pa, no?
But the election is still a few months away.
Malayo pa. We're still 5 months away, no? But as we said, it's never too early to get to know these candidates. We move on to our next candidate, JV Ejercito, of course, the son of former President Joseph Estrada. In September, the re-electionist senator said he would likely leave his father's political party, and he also said he has not spoken to his father in a long time. So, meron ding issue about using Estrada or Ejercito, hindi ba? Pag-usapan muna natin yon, especially with you, Commissioner, no? Maari daw siyang makonsider na nuisance candidate pag ginamit niya
No,
ang
he cannot.
Estrada. Hindi
No,
naman.
I checked the records and it appears that Senator Ejercito did use the Estrada name in the previous elections where he ran and won as a senator, no? So I don't think there's a problem there. I think there was just a misunderstanding. So having said
Paano
that,
pag sinulat nila Estrada,
No,
is
it's
that
just-
Jinggoy or JV?
it's just shading lang.
Shading.
Shading
Yeah,
nga
kasi
pala. Oo nga pala.
that's a good thing about it is basically you focus on the numbers. So I think on the side issue, COMELEC should make sure that the list of candidates for senator should be finalized as soon as possible so the candidates will know what their numbers are on the ballots. But at least they can start campaigning with a particular number.
So most likely magkasunod yan sila.
Oh, magkasunod yan. Magkasunod yan dalawa.
How do voters see that? Estrada versus Estrada.
Estrada is more popular than Ejercito.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why he wants to change his name.
As a senator, marami naman siyang na-file na bills. He filed 117 Senate bills and 18 Senate
And the universal
resolutions.
healthcare bill.
Yes,
passed by
universal
him.
healthcare bill,
That's
correct.
a really good bill.
Tsaka medyo may pagka-maverick itong senador na to. I mean, you can very well look at his pronouncements on anti-political dynasty. And if you look at San Juan, for example, who are they supporting to take the place of his mom? So, in other words, you can very well say that this guy walks the talk. But again, it depends on how the public will react to his politics.
Sa tingin nyo, fearless forecast, the two Estradas.
Too early.
Sinong
For me,
papasok?
it's too early. Too early.
Pasok
Yeah,
pareho?
hirap eh.
Isa?
Usually, nangunguna si Jinggoy sa survey. Pero, surveys at this time is not really an indicator.
There is one thing that Senator JV has to ask with him is he belongs to a big political party, and I think that will play a factor in the elections in next year. He belongs to one of the biggest political parties, so I think that's a plus factor for him.
Okay, we move on to the next candidate. This is a CNN's Philippines special presentation. We have 8 senatorial candidates that will be joining us live this afternoon at the University of the Philippines. We invite you to tune in to our senatorial forum, and we will be asking them questions on the issues that matter just a little bit later.